Good morning, St. Matthew and friends. Forgiveness is our topic this week in the Red Letter Challenge. We're looking at forgiveness in the life of Jesus. And one of the things we see in the life of Jesus is that for being forgiven and forgiving others always goes hand in hand. And that's a challenge for us. We are forgiven completely by God, and we are called to go out and bear that fruit of forgiveness and forgive other people. Just the way Jesus taught us to pray in the Lord's Prayer. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Being forgiven and forgiving others always goes hand in hand in the life of Jesus. I'm at the altar today. The idea of an altar comes from the Old Testament. The altar is the place where the animals were killed. They were sacrificed, and their blood would flow off the altar down onto the mercy seat. And this was part of the sacrificial system that God had set up. As that blood of an animal, a firstborn unblemished animal, was shed, they would be forgiven. And that sacrificial system worked because it pointed to the ultimate sacrifice of Jesus when he shed his blood on the altar of the cross. We still have altars in our sanctuaries today, not because we slaughter animals. We have them there as a visible reminder to us of the presence of God, a visible reminder of the forgiveness of God, that we are the forgiven people of God because of the perfect life and the innocent death of Jesus at the cross as perfect sacrifice. We keep the altar always in front of us as that visible reminder of God and of God's forgiveness. There's a great passage in Isaiah 6 where Isaiah has this heavenly vision, and he sees the altar and he sees God as this holy, holy, holy God. And when he sees the holiness of God, he says of himself, "Woe is me. I am ruined. I'm an unholy person. I'm a man of unclean lips. I can't be here in the presence of God." And an angel flying around the altar takes a coal, a lit burning coal from the altar, and he touches it to Isaiah's lips and says, "Your sin is paid for. Your sin is atoned for," right there from the altar. And there's a response to that in the life of Isaiah. God looks to Isaiah and he looks to the angelic host with him and says, "Who will go for us? Who will I send?" And Isaiah says, "Here am I. Send me, send me. I've been forgiven. I'll go out and proclaim forgiveness." We have a hymn about that in our hymnal, "Hark the Voice of Jesus Calling." It's a well-known hymn. Most of you probably know it. "Hark the voice of Jesus calling. Who will go and work today? Fields are white and harvest waiting. Who will bear the sheaves away? Loud and long the Master calls you. Rich reward he offers free. Who will answer gladly saying, 'Here am I, send me, send me.' Here am I, send me, send me." Right there from the words of Isaiah. That's a great hymn, but there's not a lot of good news in that hymn. It's not bad news. It's just a hymn about all the stuff that we need to be doing. We would call that law stuff. Lutheran pastor and theologian and musician Dave Horn noticed that there was what he called precious little gospel in that hymn. And so he wrote a final verse to include the gospel, the good news that's the power that motivates us, empowers us to go out and take the forgiveness we've been given and share it with someone else. We have a treat today. Brenda is going to come and sing that final Dave Horn verse of "Hark the Voice of Jesus Calling."
If Isaiah's fear assails you, if unclean and ruined you feel, do not flee from God Almighty. He is strong to save and heal. With his offering from the altar, he has burned your guilt away. Though your strength be ever failing, he is faithful every day.
Thanks, Brenda. He is faithful every day. Every day God's faithful. Every day God makes us new creation. Every day God stands willing to forgive us and declare us his righteous, holy, forgiven, redeemed people. And we have a response to that. We take that forgiveness that God has given us and we go out and we share that forgiveness with others. So go out, find someone just like you who doesn't deserve forgiveness and forgive them today. That's it for today. God's blessing on your week.